Hello, Environmental 210 students. I'm here today to explain to you how it is I can use another tool called OBS software to help you with exercises, and perhaps we'll be using this online, either in my office hours or for online lectures. We'll see how it goes, and you can provide me with feedback. But today I'd like to continue with question number 3 from the Problems and Applications section in Mancu's textbook, and address 2 questions that we didn't get to yesterday and 2 questions that have to do with supply. Okay, so the first one is what happens to the supply of minivans when a strike by steel workers increases the price of steel. Okay, so we're just looking at the impact of this on supply. So I will just include the upward supply curve in my graph. And what we need to identify is which one of the determinants of supply, or the shift factors of supply, is being impacted here. And since it's steel that's being affected, and the market we're talking about is minivans, it's not the price of minivans that's affected. So this is one of the shift factors. And more specifically, steel is an input to the production of minivans. Which means that it's used in making them. So if the price of an input goes up, that's not necessarily good for steel producers. What that means is it's more expensive for them to produce each good. So that means it's going to reduce supply or create the incentive for producers to produce less at every price. So this would be a shift leftward of the supply curve. Shift leftward from S1 to S2. Second, the last part of question 3 asks what happens to the supply of minivans if engineers develop new automated machinery. The shift factor that automated machinery refers to is technology. And in most cases, when there's a new technology, this is going to be a good thing for producers, which means supply would increase, or that producers would like to produce more at every price. And the reason that I say that technology most often increases supply is because producers always have the choice as to whether to adopt something or not. And if they're adopting it, you can assume in most cases that this is going to be because it improves things on the supply side. I say in most cases because there might be regulations that make it such that firms have to adopt technologies that would actually make things more expensive or more difficult for them, and that would shift supply to the left. But in this case, this development is new. It's done. It's undertaken by firms because engineers develop a new automated machinery, which we assume makes things better off, and therefore that supply would shift rightward, or that it would increase. Okay, so that's it for question 3. We're going to move on to some other questions in future classes.